Hello, I'm visiting Anna at Salesforce. Yay! On the 61st floor of the Salesforce Tower, there is something called Ohana Floors. It is the best view in the city, and I was lucky enough to go check it out. Anna's actually one of my best friends from high school. I've almost known her for 10 years, and we both moved to the city post-college, and both of us have been here ever since. The Salesforce Park also has really great outdoor seating. There's events that are hosted there, and you can grab a beer or just hang out when there are activities. I can't believe that it's almost been a year since I left Stripe. I've been working a lot on Asian Wonder Woman, building out the media arm of it, whether it's the podcast, as well as planning for the summit, and also doing consulting for a data encryption startup. Past year has been really great in the sense where I've gotten to rest and spend more quality time with people and be more selective on the things that I work on. But a part of me also realizes, I think I still have one more fight in me to either join a startup that I'm really passionate about. Specifically, sometimes I wonder, approaching working for a company, you can do it in two ways. One is working for a company that has a product that you're passionate about, which means it's something that you can sell, that you can market, that you can build on top of, right? So I think a lot of people think of that. What I realized in my career is actually working for a team or a manager or a leader who can help pave the path for you in your career growth. And I think that's the perspective that I've been taking on recently, where I'm I want to work for someone who has 10 steps ahead of me and who's built the things that I wanted to build. Last year, I've learned so much, honestly, but a lot of it was figuring things out on my own without the mentorship or guidance of someone who's more established and smarter than me. So as I kind of figure out, okay, it's almost been a year since, I've left a 9-to-5. It doesn't mean that I can go back to one. And so these are currently the options that I'm contemplating at this moment. A lot of factors go into play, as in is it going to be fully remote? Am I going to find my own apartment? I want to establish myself. And I think a lot of it ultimately boils down to what I actually want to spend my time on, what I want to work on. And I think, again, the whole mission that I've been advocating for is really to get to a place where you get to pick and choose and design your life in a way that makes sense to you and no one else. Because life is so seasonal and so many things happen and things change all the time. What I say now could change next week. But I think currently what I'm feeling is I do want to have a burst of growth, and I do want to learn from other people. So that's currently where my head is right now. And I also want to share that it doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing Asian Wonder Woman at all. I think what it means is that I would have the necessary funds and the health insurance, which is so important in America, to be able to operate and be someone who can run a media company by overseeing it and not always being embedded in the operational side of things. I feel like I've just done so much heavy lifting and operations for Asian Wonder Woman that I think it would make sense for me to utilize my time in a different capacity and learn a different skill set rather than doing everything on my own, from social media to documentation to writing. I could get people to help me with that for the media company for Asian Wonder Woman. I definitely see myself as a multi-potentialite, and that just means that I have a lot of interests and a lot of things that I want to do. There's nothing wrong with it per se, but I mean, my mind can be all over the place, and I like to keep things spicy. So my friend told me, she was I think you might get sucked back into the whole Bay Area mentality, and a part of me thinks that she's true, which is true, and then another part of me is selfishly think that I can still have the best of both worlds, and I will do everything in my power to do it. I am currently headed to see my cousin Danica. She lives in the South Bay, so I'm taking BART to Millbrae, and then Millbrae, I'm taking Caltrain all the way south. This is what you do for people you love. You commute, and I'm probably just going to be doing some work on Caltrain. I guess that's the downside of living in California is like you kind of always need a car. And I don't have a car. I do drive, but I'm just not fond of driving. It's really loud, so I hope you can hear me through this mic. I think my preferred mode of transportation is I just walk or I take Muni. Like if it's a long market, there's no issue taking one of those like cute cable cars down the road. BART is fine, and honestly if I don't feel safe I just Uber, especially at night. But so far, you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do. And I can't even imagine like F&B workers who have to get off at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. how they get home. They bike home, walk home. So much popo. One of the things I will point out is like they don't have any walls for the tracks, so you always stay behind the yellow line or you just stay like 10 feet away from the yellow line. I understand why my dad always like told me to stay back because it's really dangerous. Like if you get pushed, you're fucked. It is real nice in Mountain View in warm weather. I feel like I'm in SoCal. I'm gonna plug these people. There's a lost dog, help him. Toby, white Maltipoo, last seen Magnolia Park. There is a local candid photographer, videographer, digital artist. Pretty cool. Check out their portfolio. I always appreciate the hustle. Our Google campus, and they have a freaking tennis court. We went to Google for lunch. I love free food. Danica's like 6 feet tall already. You're so cute. Huh? Okay.
Guys, cilantro.
Yeah. It was really nice just catching up with Danica.
Well done. Look at Danica. Pampering Danica day.
And enjoy the sun. It's so nice.
How do you feel?
I am relaxed, refreshed, moisturized, massaged. Living my best life.
Hey, our nails! I like your colors. I'm back home. I'm on the couch. I'm gonna watch K-drama. I've been watching this show called Queen Maker. It is so good. You should watch it. I don't get FOMO anymore. Like I am really happy just sitting at home and watching K-drama and just like doing my own stuff and like vlogging. It's kind of funny. It's just like when I was younger, I was like, oh, I want to go out and I want to do all these things. But this week has been insanely busy. And it is just so nice to have a cup of tea and to sit on the couch. Anyways, I hope all of you guys are well. If you have any questions about life in San Francisco and what it's kind of like, I would love to do more of like a tech vlog or just show like the insights on what it's like in the Bay Area nowadays. Everyone's like, oh my god, everyone's leaving San Francisco, everyone's moving out, blah blah blah. I will say a lot of the major retailers are moving out. Nordstrom is moving out. I think like Nordstrom Rack actually. The Westfield, they are leaving. They don't want to be a part of the city anymore. I think Gap left, Uniqlo left. Like so many stores have left downtown. It's kind of sad. But I will say the ones who are actually still here in San Francisco are like the natives, the ones who grew up here, who have generations of lineage, who have grown up in the Bay Area. I will say a lot of the tech people, some of the tech people who like for some reason still are here for like the tech community. Maybe they're like executives, they're startup founders, etc. They're here for like YC. And I will say there is a growing, thriving AI community here. You may not see it, but I actually just stumbled upon one and it's really interesting. There's a lot of them. There's like even these like homes where a lot of people who work in AI just live together and they like discuss things and they kind of just thrive off of each other's energy. So there still are people here and I'm really interested to see what will happen over the course of years. Like, will the city clean itself up? Will tech come back? Like, people have to go to work. Recently, my cousin said like Google is requiring people to go back to work 3 times a week. So a lot of companies are getting their employees back. So TBD, I will keep you posted on what it's like in the Bay Area. But if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. And I will see you all in the next vlog. Bye.